Do you struggle to figure out what you actually need to pack in your personal item bag for every flight? Well, today I'm going to share with you 3 different kits that I pack in my personal item bag, no matter how long the flight is going to be. Let's go. Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. I am Christy, the Gen X Gypsy, and on this channel, I like to share tips and inspiration and just overall ideas to help you have more fun and a lot less stress when you are traveling. And in today's video, I am super excited to share the 3 different kits that I put together in my personal item bag, no matter how long the flight is going to be. So whether I am going on a 3-hour flight from North Carolina to Miami, or I'm going on a 30-hour flight from North Carolina to South Africa, some variation of each of these kits is going to be in my personal item bag. That being said, each of these kits are going to change a little bit depending on the length of the flight, but I wanted to give you the basics of these kits today. So we're going to start with the first kit that I always put in my personal item bag, and that is my Freshen Up kit. And I thought I would just show you the Freshen Up kit that I had in my personal item bag for the flight here to Puerto Rico this time. In fact, everything I'm going to show you in this video is going to pertain to the flight that I took on the way down here, because that's what I have with me. But I'll also give you some ideas of other things that you might want to add or perhaps even take out of each of these kits if you're going on a shorter or perhaps a longer flight. I just used this little bag that I have that is part of the Trip Travel Toiletry Set kit that I have talked about for years now, and I love it. I use it all the time, and I especially love this little clear bag that comes as part of the kit. I have used this as my Freshen Up kit bag for probably a couple of years now. So let's go over what is actually in here. So the first thing that I have in here are my Clorox wipes that I use to wipe down the plane, the tray table, the armrest, the headrest behind me, all of the things in the plane when I get on. So, you know, to help prevent possibly catching any colds that might be lingering on the plane. The next thing I have are some little mini hand sanitizer packets. I have some little mini toothbrushes. So these are perfect for those long flights or overnight flights, and you get in, maybe you have a layover before you catch your next flight, but you've been on a plane for like 5 hours and your mouth just is disgusting. Having these little mini toothbrushes is really nice to freshen up your mouth. For the same situation, I have a couple of deodorant wipe packets so that you can, you know, freshen up those pits if you want to. Of course, I have some eye drops because our eyes get dry and red when we are flying. I have a little shout packet. This is something new that I have added because I have had multiple incidences where I have spilled coffee on myself, or I've had the person next to me spill coffee because turbulence does happen. I've also spilled coffee on myself in the airport because I'm just that clumsy. So I've decided that I definitely need to start carrying around either some shouts, or sometimes I'll have a Tide pin in here, but these actually take up a little less space than the Tide pins do. So I do like these little shout pouches. I have Kleenex, because inevitably I get on those airplanes and my nose starts to run from all that recirculated air. So I always have Kleenex with me handy, because blowing your nose on those napkins that the flight attendants give you, oh yeah, it's not very comfortable, is it? I have a little hair tie in case my hair is getting crazy or I just want to get it out of the way. And this one's like a thicker one, so I can use it as a scrunchie, you know, put my hair up in like a loose bun, or I can just use it as a ponytail holder. I also have these little Listerine breath strips because after drinking all that coffee or being in the air for so long, having something, if you don't have the opportunity to brush your teeth with the little toothbrush, this is the next best option to freshen up your breath. And the Listerine obviously helps to kill some of the bacteria in your mouth too. So they're just really, really handy. And this thing is so tiny. It takes up way less space than like a little packet of mints do. I have my little pill holder. So this thing holds I think I'm out of ibuprofen right now. I've used all my ibuprofen, but I've got my Dramamine. Usually I have ibuprofen in here. I have some Imodium. My daily, oh my gosh, I need something right now, kind of over-the-counter medications go in this little pill holder. It's super slimline and doesn't take up a lot of space. And when it's not in my Freshen Up kit, this is something that I carry around with me all the time. I also have this solid hand lotion that I got. I'm not sure if this is still available. This is a honeysuckle and it smells oh so good. Oh gosh, it really does smell good. It's a solid and you just, pull the bar out and you wipe it on your hands. We just get so dry when we're flying. It's nice to have something to add a little moisture to our hands. My cuticles get super dry, so I like being able to put that on there. I just love this stuff. Now there's another option out there, although I think it may be a little too smelly for the airplane that I showed, I think it's now a couple of weeks ago, the Jergens lotion burst, and they come in shapes. Right now I can only find 2 scents. One is lavender and I think the other one is like a cherry smell, and they're really convenient because they're solid shapes. They're kind of like a little jelly thing, and they dissolve when you put them on your hands, but they do have a very, very heavy scent. So I'd be cautious about taking them on the plane, but I'm gonna keep an eye out to see if there's something else that's similar to that is coming on the market, or if y'all happen to see anything that is similar to that doesn't have quite such a strong smell. Let us know in the comments below, because that's a great option for when you are flying. We just have a few more items left in here. I have another thing of eye drops that are already open in here. I have a little mini set of tweezers, and I'm not exactly sure why I put those in there, but they're in there. I guess it's nice to have, you always get, or at least not, you may not get it, I get it. I'll get like that one stiff hair that shows up like right here, and it'll show up all of a sudden out of the blue. So it's kind of nice to have these to be able to take care of it, because otherwise I will sit there, I don't know about you, I will sit there and I'll play with that thing. It just drives me crazy. So having the tweezers to be able to pluck that out immediately is kind of nice. I don't know that you necessarily need it in your Freshen Up kit, but something to think about. I have a little makeup remover pad. So if you are flying overnight and you want to get your makeup off, have a bit of a cleaner face, you could use that. And then last but definitely not least, probably the most used item out of my Freshen Up kit is my lip balm. And this is my current favorite SPF lip balm. It's by Tatcha. Tatcha, I think is how you pronounce it. It's a Japanese company. Ulta does sell these. They have, I think, 4 different tints. It's either 3 or 4 different tints. This is, I think, the Camellia Rose. It's a really pretty red-ish color. It doesn't really go on as saturated as it looks on there, but oh man, this stuff, it feels so good on your lips, so moisturizing. I'm probably a little addicted at this point. So that is everything in the Freshen Up kit. Now let's move to my electronics kit. And this is the kit that probably changes the most every time I pack my personal item bag. For this trip, I didn't really need to have a whole lot of electronics with me. It's a relatively, well, it should be a relatively short trip from North Carolina to Puerto Rico, but we had a long layover, and it ends up being about, I think it ended up being about a 7-hour, 8-hour travel day. But I still really didn't need all that much stuff because I decided I was just going to read a book on the plane. But I wanted to show you the things that I did pack. The first thing I'm going to show you is that I packed my over-the-ear headphones for this trip. Now, generally speaking, on a trip this short, I would probably just bring my little SoundBeats earbuds to travel with. But since I'm going to be working this, because I'm here for 6 weeks and I'm going to be working the whole time, I really wanted my over-the-ear headphones to be able to use for work. So those were what I opted to bring on this trip. Otherwise, I would have definitely just come with the earbuds if I was only going to be here a week or 2 weeks, because these do take up a lot of space and it wasn't that long of a flight. For longer flights, I definitely pack these because I want to be able to wear them to drown out the sounds, especially if there's a baby crying in the background or something. I love my Bose over-the-ears headphones. I think I talked about these a lot last year, and maybe I got these on sale during the Prime Day sale in July. So if you are thinking about getting some, maybe hold off and wait until July if you can. When they do usually have them on sale for like $100 off. So it's a really good deal. And then the other electronics item, so I always bring some sort of headphones, I guess is basically what I was saying there. I either have the over-the-ears headphones or I have my earbuds. And the other item, electronics item, if you want to call it that I always bring is my Kindle, because most of the time, I am reading a book when I am on the plane. And the other times I'm either working on editing videos or I am watching a movie myself. But the majority of the time, I would say 80% of the time, I am reading a book, because I don't want to go off on a tangent here, but reading a book when you're on a plane, I already feel like I'm time traveling when I'm flying somewhere anyway. And then if you're into a really good book, I don't know, it just takes the whole time travel feeling to another level. Am I the only one that feels that? I don't know. I just did that out of body experience when you travel. It sort of takes your mind to a whole different place. Let me know if you feel that way, because I do feel a little crazy talking about that on YouTube. So the other things that I have in my little electronics pouch, I kept it really pretty simple. A power bank. And remember, there are some rules about power banks that have changed over the past year or so. So you want to confirm whether your airline needs you to have your power bank out on your tray table when you are using it. This one is a magnetic one, so it magnetically attaches to my phone. So it's on my phone anyway, and it's out. I don't really use the cable on it for too much. There aren't a whole lot of items that I need to be charging, especially on a short flight like we had coming to Puerto Rico. This is the Anker Nano charger, and I have really, really enjoyed using this. I've been using this a lot on the hikes because we're in places where we don't have service, so the phone will run down a lot more quickly when you don't have service. So I will put this on the back of the phone when we are hiking. Also, I will have everything that I am talking about that I can find links for today, I will have linked down in the description and the first pinned comment below. So if you want to check anything out, that will be the place to go find it. So the next thing that I bring is, well, there's the policia, I think, or somebody's car alarm going off, because of course that's what happens when you try to film here. Oh, yay, it went off. Okay, the alarm is now off. So moving on to the next thing that I have in my electronics kit is just a little block, charging block. And this is just one that came with my Anker charger, so I threw that in, but any little charging block will do. And then the cable that I have that I'll put with it is my 3-in-1, whoops, all the things coming out. I have one of these 3-in-1 charging cables. So I no longer have an iPhone that uses the lightning, whoops, there's the lightning thing, but I do have friends in my daughter's phone that still has the lightning charging cable. So it is nice to have that available for other people. And then of course I have the C, which is the common charging in these days. And then the old USB-A, I think is what that one is called. Yeah, I think that's the USB-A. That is what charges up my Kindle. So I do like having the ability to have all three of the charging connectors, I think that's what you would call them, available when I am traveling, because you just never know, especially with my Kindle and my phone are the two things that I want to make sure that I keep charged up, and that will do that for me. And then the other two things that I actually am carrying in this, and this is part of my little, it's called my tag-along pouch system, and it's a zippered system. You've seen it, I've shown it a couple of times. You could put your Freshen Up kit in the other half of this. that's not how I packed for this trip, so I can't show that to you. I went to look and see if I had brought the other section of this, but I did not for this trip. But you could do the Freshen Up in one of these and then your electronics in the other and have them kind of connected together, which would make it actually make more sense if you wanted to do it that way. I didn't, so this is real life. So the other two items that I have in here are an extra pair of reading glasses and a pen, just in case I need that on the plane. So that rounds up all of my electronics. And then the last kit that I pack, and I'm using the word kit very broadly here, is an extra set of clothes. This is something that is going to be very different depending on what kind of trip that you are taking. Most of the time, what I am packing in my extra clothing pack or kit is just an extra pair of underwear, an extra pair of socks if it's someplace that I'm wearing a lot of socks, a shirt, and perhaps a pair of leggings. That the leggings may or may not go in there, but the socks, the underwear, and another top are almost consistently what is in my extra clothing kit. For this trip, because I was coming to Puerto Rico, I did check my bag, but I also had to carry on. Again, I'm here for 6 weeks, so I have a lot more stuff than I would normally travel with for a 1 to 2 week trip. I'm digital nomading. I'm not backpacking around. Clearly, I'm filming a video while I'm here, so I had to bring all the things. I still wanted to make sure if for whatever reason that I got to Puerto Rico without any of my clothes, because most of my clothes were in my checked suitcase, I just wanted to make sure that I got to Puerto Rico that I had something in my extra clothing pack that I could wear. So the things that I packed for this trip, because I was wearing shoes with socks, so I had tennis shoes with socks on the plane. I packed a pair of flip-flops. I packed my extra pair of underwear. I packed a bathing suit, a pair of shorts, and a tank top. So those were the things that I had in the extra clothing to make sure that if I arrived and my clothing did not arrive, that I at least had something that I could wear for the next couple of days, especially since we were traveling from 18 degrees in North Carolina with ice on the ground when we left, the day that we left at the end of January, and we arrived in Puerto Rico to sunny and 80 degrees outside. Absolutely wanted to make sure that I had things that I could change out of my winter clothing and into something where I wasn't gonna get super, super sweaty. Now, beyond the 3 kits that I talked about today, putting in your personal item bag, there are a couple of other kits that would be really beneficial to have packed and almost necessary to have packed in your personal item bag as well. And one of those is especially important if you are on a lot of prescription medications that you need to pack and bring with you. And over here in this video, I go over lots of tips and advice on how to pack medications for your next trip. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video today. I hope that you have safe and wonderful travels.